film ever made. My name is Vincent Williams, and I'm joined as always by my partner.
Hey, holla at your boy. This is Len, a.k.a. the Bat Tribble. What's up?
And on this stop of the mission, we are going to spend some time with 2022's The Woman King, directed by Gina Prince-Bythewood and starring Viola Davis, Thuso Mbidu, Lashana Lynch, Sheila Atim,
and John Boyega.
But before we get to that, so what's going on, Len? You look something's different. Are those new glasses?
Welcome to Fantasy Island, ladies and gentlemen, as we are coming to you live from Manayunk Studios, the new home of the Michaud Mission.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. It's classy.
It looks so...
I know, right?
So delicious.
I was saying, I feel like maybe we should have on smoking jackets.
Any reason for you to get in a smoking jacket.
Smoking jacket,
so
right.
you can have your
right,
elbow
have
patches.
The elbows,
You just... Oh my God.
Yeah. But it's the same old show.
Yes. Yes, it is.
You know, the spirit remains the same. We are who we are.
But we're going to try and give you a little bit of flavor. This is going to be a work in progress. This is our inaugural run out here from Manayunk Studios.
Yeah.
So things might be switching up from week to week, but stick with us because we promise you a good time as always.
All right.
All right.
So what's the word?
Well, the word is hey to all of our missionaries out there in the chat. Hello to each and every one of you.
Good evening, one and all.
Now, as this is our new day in our new studio, ladies and gentlemen, we don't have access to our chat right now. So all of you out there going crazy, Deborah Battle, Robert Monroe Jr., Miss Makiba.
You're supposed to be looking at that camera now.
Okay, well, I'll be looking at this camera now. It's a whole new world.
When the light is
new
red,
exciting points of view. That's my point of view, Vincent.
That's right. So
it's looking at me. It's my camera. Now.
It's weird because now that's red. See, now you look this way.
So now you look there.
It's weird because when it's green, you think green means go.
I know.
But really, green means go to the red light. See how that works? I'd already gotten that in my head where I said green means go to the red light.
See, but the problem is that I am colorblind. So all I'm seeing are lights.
Is that true?
Yes. I'm just seeing.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm colorblind.
How did I never know that?
You never asked. I am colorblind. So, I mean, like, I can see colors. The world's not black and white.
That is amazing.
It's not black and white, but, like, I know that one that's looking at me now is green, I believe.
Yeah,
yes.
No, it is. It is.
Which means that one should be the hot one, which is now green, that I'm looking at it.
That is amazing.
I know. Is it crazy?
I never knew that.
I know. So, I will just be bouncing back and forth.
Wow. You know what? I've always thought that I had a level of color blindness between blue and purple. Like my blue purples kind of run together sometimes.
Yeah, that's common.
I'm not sure.
Mine is the red and greens.
Okay.
But mine it's the red. It's the spectrum because I'm blue, purple. I'm red, greens. It's like it's everything. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
you really do learn something new every day.
That's why you watch the Michaud Mission, ladies and gentlemen.
It's so funny we do this live. Like this is the type of thing in the old days, we would have shut it down for like 15 minutes.
That's true. That's true. But no, the show must go on.
The show must go on. Absolutely.
All right.
So what else is going on? Anything else you want to reveal to me?
No, that's it.
Also, I'm allergic to tree nuts.
Tree nuts?
I'm not. I was just thinking.
I've never even heard of tree nuts.
It's like walnuts and things. I think.
I've never heard them called tree nuts.
Right.
But are peanuts tree nuts?
I'm not sure.
But walnuts are tree nuts.
I believe so.
And acorns.
I believe so.
Okay.
All right. Well, please carry on.
Yes. Can I continue with the show now?
Look, you got some more personal fact you want to drop that I haven't known since knowing you for 10 years?
No, that's it.
Anything else? Right.
That's it.
This isn't my arm.
Before. Oh, God. Anyway.
I worship Satan.
Whoa. Hold up.
Okay.
Hold up.
All right.
That shit ain't funny.
I'm just thinking of things
Yeah.
that have never come up.
I want to duly noted that he was thinking
that I was thinking, but you are not
worshiping Satan,
Yeah.
not me.
Yeah.
Speaking of Satan, did you see the Chris Rock special on Netflix?
You know what? I didn't. I
believe it's called Selective Outrage.
Right. In full disclosure, I watched maybe about 15 minutes.
Really?
I got all the way up to the Elon Musk blowjob jokes.
Okay.
I got bored.
Mm-hmm.
I turned it off.
Okay.
My plan was to watch 2 episodes of Poker Face.
Okay.
Because I'm 2 behind.
All right.
But then the 1 episode that I watched, I enjoyed so much that I just sort of luxuriated in it. And then I turned on the Xbox.
Oh, wow.
And then the next day I saw the last 10 minutes where he actually talked about
the slap.
Well, where he mentions Will Smith, but he talks about Jada Pinkett.
Now, you only made it through the first 15 minutes of the show proper.
Yes.
You weren't a fan?
I thought it was hacky.
Yeah.
I thought it was hacky. I thought it was... I thought for Chris Rock to be Chris Rock, legitimately an iconic, legendary comedian.
Yeah.
It just sort of felt beneath him. It just sort of felt like you're telling Lululemon jokes and woke joke. Like how are you Chris Rock and you're telling jokes about being woke?
Well, I don't
in 2023. Like it felt like this is something in 2020 someone would have been talking about.
Maybe so, but I didn't so much mind the woke jokes as it didn't sound like he was adding anything new to the conversation.
Right. Well, that's
coming with any type of new insight, which is what you would think of from Chris Rock. You would think that he was going to give you at least a provocative perspective on it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I just didn't feel like there was anything there. I did also feel like you said, like it was a little hacky.
Yeah.
A little like just he didn't seem tuned into it.
Yeah.
But that. So and that seems to be the overall criticism of it. And I'm not even going to touch on what he had to say about the slap and all that type of stuff because actually I didn't think it was funny, and 2, I thought that what he said was beneath him as well.
I mean, unfortunately, to what we're saying, that's the only reason anyone's talking about it.
Exactly. But the thing that came to my mind, though, is, especially because you just said Chris Rock is this legendary, iconic comedian, right? Is he, though? Not saying that he's not great, not saying that he hasn't been someone who put on a legitimately outstanding, great Hall of Fame special years ago. With I can't even remember the name of it.
I think Bring the Pain.
It was Bring the Pain.
And what's the one with Black in the title?
Black as a Rock. I don't know.
Yeah.
But either way, like to me, Bring the Pain. That was it.
Right. That's the one.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Right. If you may want to argue about the other one that you're talking about, his Netflix specials certainly have been more hit or miss.
Usually people can't see us kind of pick up things and start.
Yeah, go pick up the things.
Right.
I know they're shouting at the chat, but we can't see the chat right now.
See the chat.
But my question to you about that is this: he's got Bring the Pain, right?
Yes.
Legitimately Hall of Fame stuff. Okay.
Right.
But to be an iconic comedian, and we're just talking comedian.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. I would think that you need at least 2 legendary performances, more if you can do it, but at least 2. And I primarily say 2 because Eddie Murphy is legitimately an iconic Hall of Fame comedian, but he really only has the two performances.
Right.
You know, people.
Oh yeah, Bigger and Blacker.
Bigger and Blacker.
Yeah, I think Bigger and Blacker is legitimately
that was
a classic.
It was very, very good.
Yeah.
I don't think it was better than Bring the Pain.
I don't think it was better, but I think people repeat jokes from
there as well.
Right.
As well. Okay. So I guess so then I guess he is passing the litmus test.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I was wondering whether or not he actually passed that litmus test. I honestly forgot about Bigger and Blacker.
Yeah.
So okay. All right. Well, enough about that.
Yeah. It was just, it's funny. And we were talking before we start taping about how, and I don't know if it was Dave Chappelle or Eddie Murphy talked about the challenges they face as comedians of their stature because they can't work their material.
Yeah.
In the clubs. A, because everyone is taping, but B, I think they have so much goodwill
already
that they don't get honest feedback. And although I know Chris Rock has been on the road and has been working this, again, it just wasn't that sharp, for it to be Chris Rock. I know a lot of people didn't like Tambourine.
Yeah.
I thought Tambourine was a little bit more introspective.
Me too.
And I do think once you get to a certain point as a comedian, that's the path you kind of have to go. Like you have to go inside because like you're rich, you're famous. Like you can't make jokes about the self-checkout at Target,
right?
And how people go and don't know how to use it,
right?
Like you're at the point where you just are completely out of touch with reality,
right?
So you got to do like Richard Pryor did. And go
deep.
inside.
Go deep. Yeah.
And I just, I think Chris Rock is at the point with the post-slap life that I don't know if he was going to do that. Like you said, you don't want to talk about the last 10 minutes, but again, like it's like, how are you not going to talk about the last 10 minutes?
Fair
It's
enough.
like, besides that, how was the play, Mrs. Lincoln?
Right.
I thought it was intellectually dishonest.
I did.
Like he never acknowledged what he actually said.
Never.
It was a lot of regurgitating kind of the gossipy take of it. Oh, he wasn't really mad at me.
Yeah.
He was mad at her because she slept with this guy. And it's like this again, it's like this.
And that's all conjecture and gossip.
Again, this what you got?
Yeah.
Like you were at ground zero and this is all you have to add to. Like I joke with you. It's like Jack Nicholson during the court scene at the end of A Few Good Men, where it's like, is this all you have?
Yes.
Like, certainly you have more than this.
Yeah.
Like, certainly this man's life is not hanging in the balance, and this is all you have.
Yeah.
I was like, you've had a year. Certainly this is not all you have.
I agree, because I did spend that last 10 minutes just waiting for, he was going through all the other stuff. Everybody was calling him a bitch and all this other type of stuff. But I was waiting for him to turn inward on him, acknowledge what he said, even if it was from his own perspective on it, but at least acknowledge it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Give some credence to some of the feeling that was presented out there, even if you're only offering commentary to it. So I did feel like he didn't go inward. And you're right. That is where it is in comedy, because that is what people are looking for. They're looking for you to not just be surface level jokes on things. They're looking for that introspection. And if you are actually a skilled comedian, a skilled satirist, you can do that, and you can pull that from within. That is the genius of Richard Pryor that a lot of people, unfortunately, because they just don't go back in time to watch those specials, they miss.
Right.
He was funny, but he was also very introspective.
Right. Right. Well, again, I think you get to the point where you have to.
You got it.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, just a programming note. Are we on Facebook or are we on YouTube right now?
We should be streaming on YouTube as well as on Facebook.
Right.
All the old haunts.
You're saying she's not seeing it, so I don't know.
Uh-oh.
Right,
Well,
right.
look, that is
Right.
Mrs. Vincent Williams.
No.
And if she's saying she's not
All
saying
right.
it, then we gonna
You
stop this thing
not
right now and
Seeing
straighten this out.
us. No. We just. You're not seeing us.
Hold everything,
Right,
ladies and gentlemen.
Hold everything, because we are taping. So even if you're not seeing, we're being taped. So we'll continue because we'll let them behind the boards see what they're doing. So we are indeed on Facebook.
Yes, and we are on Facebook.
Oh,
Our
yeah.
producer Terry.
That's right.
We've got a producer.
We got a producer.
He's showing us that we are live on. We are live on.
So we're on Facebook.
We're doing it.
All
We're
right.
doing the damn thing.
But yes,
Yeah. So that's our take on Chris Rock.
that's our take on Chris Rock.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, we're on Facebook.
There we go.
Look at us.
Yeah.
Look at it.
And YouTube.
And YouTube.
Yeah.
Don't we look beautiful?
Maybe something is going on. All right.
All right.
So what else is going on, Lynn?
We have emails, Vincent.
Ooh, missives from the missionaries.
Yes, we do. We have an email from Sean Simmons,
Hey, what's up, Sean?
longtime fan. Greeting Len and Vince. Before I get to my question, I want to say that it was a pleasure hearing you all on the Black Men Can't Jump in Hollywood podcast on Monday.
Oh, excellent.
Vincent and I were guests on the very popular podcast, Black Men Can't Jump in Hollywood. It just aired this past Monday, as Sean
Nice.
noted. So you can go and find that on your podcast catchers, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we were talking about our new podcast series, The Class of 1989. And we were also reviewing, once again, Driving Miss Daisy.
Can you ever review Driving Miss Daisy too much, though?
I know you can't. Especially surrounded by three other brothers who were just in harmony and synchronicity with you throughout the entire episode.
Maybe we'll find some old people to talk about Driving Miss Daisy with you. Maybe
Mm.
have some soup.
Have some soup.
Some soup.
Or are we going to do a show from a graveyard?
Right,
somewhere?
some toast.
Toast.
We'll watch some Matlock. And then we'll talk about that nice Driving Miss Daisy.
I am mad you said soup and toast. Can I continue showing
Please
the
do.
email?
Please do.
It was very cool to see Black Men Can't Jump and the Michelle Mission. They are two of my go-to podcasts weekly, so it was very nice to see that collaboration.
Very nice, and we love doing it.
You're welcome, Sean. I'm looking forward, he continues, I'm looking forward to the class of 1989, as I'm sure many are. His question,
Okay.
and I'll post this to you, Vincent.
Okay.
If you had the same concept of the show, which, if you don't know, we're looking at 6 films that were released in 1989 and looking at them from a historical and cultural perspective,
Mm-hmm.
6 Black films. If we had the same concept but with television shows,
Okay.
what year or time period would you choose? And could you name some of the shows that you might be interested in doing a deep dive on?
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I knew you would like this question, Vincent.
You want to go first?
No, I'm posing it to you, brother.
You know what? I am fascinated by that period between the Norman Lear era,
Okay, so the All in the Family,
Jefferson's Good Times, that era,
Uh-huh.
and the beginning of the Cosby Show. So, like 227, Amen.
Okay. Is what's happening is
What's happening now?
okay. Oh,
What's
okay,
happening now?
what happening now? Okay.
Yeah,
What else is there? Well, wouldn't no.
Webster, Different Strokes.
Oh yeah. I forgot all about Webster. and Different Strokes.
You know, I guess Facts of Life doesn't really count. But
Yeah, that's
Webster's
not a Black
Different Strokes, like that weird kind of transitional period
Mm-hmm.
between kind of the prestige / message shows of the 70s
Mm-hmm.
and like that hardcore Brandon Tartikoff kind of
Must see TV.
must-see TV / TGIF on ABC.
Right.
Where like you got the Cosby Show, and then everybody was sort of responding to the Cosby Show
because that gave you Family Matters.
Then you had Family Matters, and then you had sort of the family-friendly black shows, and then everyone kind of fell lockstep.
Yeah.
So it was that weird period.
That's
where
interesting.
it was just sort of wacky stuff.
Yeah, because
it was just weird stuff.
Because nothing really stands out.
Nothing really stands out. It's like the new Odd Couple was on for a year.
We don't talk about it. It didn't last a year.
Okay.
We don't talk about the new
He's the Mayor.
Yeah, they tried to keep Sanford going.
They tried to keep they just couldn't figure it out.
He's the Mayor. Wasn't that
Kevin
Oh, I was thinking of She's the Sheriff.
Right.
With,
Kevin Hooks.
He's
the Mayor.
Yeah.
What was the show where TJ what's his name plays the genie?
What? Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Right.
It was a dumb sitcom.
Oh, and the NAACP got it taken off after like 4 episodes.
Yeah. I can't remember that one.
TK Carter?
It was TK Carter.
He played
Carter. He played
a genie.
He played a genie in that one. Oh, I do remember that one.
But it was just all this weird shit.
Yeah. But man, I couldn't come up with anything better. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Because what you look at in there is everything's a silly comedy. Is there a black drama?
I don't think so.
There's none, unless you want to call out maybe Fame.
Right. I think what's the Tim
Reed?
What was the Tim Reed show?
Frank's Place.
Did Frank's Place come on before the Cosby Show?
Yes. I want to think that came on before the Cosby Show. It didn't last.
Right, but remember everyone always said Frank's Place was a show that everybody said that they watched.
Nobody watched.
But nobody actually watched it.
Nobody watched Frank's Place. No.
But like Frank's Place?
Yeah.
Like remember it was just a bunch of weird shit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would do.
I couldn't come up with another period, but I think an interesting thing might be you bringing up Frank's Place. One-off black shows that were just never caught on.
Okay.
But they were good. Because
Okay.
I'm thinking about Frank's Place. And another show that I really enjoyed was, do you remember South Central?
I
With
do.
A very young Lorenz Tate.
I do.
Right after Menace to Society.
Yeah.
Like, I actually thought that was a good show.
Mm-hmm. The Gregory Hines Show.
Oh, wow, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, the Gregory Hines Show.
Yeah, so I think that might be an interesting study. Like if you could just do like
prestige.
Yeah, prestige shows that didn't
never
make
caught
it.
on. Under One Roof.
Under One Roof. That
Yeah, because remember it was like who always, because that was real prestige-y.
Under One Roof. Oh, was that supposed to be kind of like a 8 is enough type of deal or something? Was it a drama?
It was a dramedy. Let me see. It was Under One Roof.
Oh, remember when dramedies? How everybody was trying to make a dramedy. We're looking
at Joe
Morton
Morton and James Earl Jones. It was like Joe Morton, James Earl Jones, Vanessa Bell.
What year was that?
This is 1995. So this is.
Oh, that's fairly, yeah.
Yeah, but we're
okay. But now we're
just
prestige
said the prestige. Yeah,
okay,
Under One Roof.
Okay.
A multi-generational black family lives in Seattle. That's the whole hook.
That's all you need. Hey, that's enough for Blue Bloods.
Look, you had me at Joe Morton and Vanessa Bell Calloway and James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones, Darth Vader on TV.
Yeah, so yeah, that's good too. So yeah, so like the prestige black show that never took off.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go, Sean.
There you go, Sean.
Thank you for the email. That's a great email.
All right.
I
So
appreciate
after
that.
1989,
Well, no.
No, we got other.
We got your dream project.
We got my 12 easy. We'll see. But that is we'll see.
Okay, so you don't want to.
We'll put those in the hopper though.
You don't want to talk about.
Don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
All right.
He's got this dream project.
I do.
I'm ready to go.
All right.
Him. All right.
All right. Thank you, Sean.
If you have an email, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to send us a email at micheuxmission@gmail.com. That's MICHEAUX MISSION @gmail.com. Beth Brown says, yes, South Central. I always feel like I am the only person that remembers that show. I still have my recorded off TV VHS tapes that I can no longer watch.
Nice.
Nice. And shout out to the fast work of Terry and Dylan, our producers who got a monitor up so we can see the chat in real time.
Moving and grooving.
See, you don't see me moving the wires now, ladies and gentlemen. You see them behind the scenes, flipping it all around.
Right.
All right. Well, Vincent.
Yes.
Let's keep this trucker moving.
Keep it moving. Moving right along like the Muppets.
Mm-hmm. It is time for the top 5.
All right.
Who's your top 5?
Top 5, ladies and gentlemen, where Vincent gets a top 5 list from me and he offers commentary on it. Now, Vincent.
Yes.
I don't know, because you weren't here last week.
I was not.
Last week, our co-producer, Mo,
hey, Mo,
sat in for you, and we did an all top 5 show.
All top 5 all the time.
All top 5 all the time.
How many top 5s did you do?
I think we did a total of about 4.
4 top 5s. So it was like a top 20.
Yes. Anyway, one of the top 5s that we did.
You should have did 5. Then you could have done 5 for 5.
Dude,
if you'd asked me, I'd say, oh, you got to do 5.
Well, we did
do 5 for 5.
First of all, you weren't there.
I was right.
So we didn't ask.
Right. If I was there, you would have.
We'd have done what we had scheduled.
I could have texted you and said, do 5 for 5. But please continue.
One of the top 5s that we did last week was top 5 black Supermen.
Okay.
Black actors that we thought would work as cast as Superman.
Sure.
And we had a lot of fun with that.
Fred Rerun Stubbs was number 1.
Okay.
All right.
Not black men of all time.
Of all time. Right.
So the late Fred Rerun Stubbs would not count.
I wonder if that's on his gravestone. I'm sorry.
I could have been Superman.
No, Rerun.
Oh, I bet it's on his gravestone.
Okay, go ahead, because I'm not going to.
You're getting a new set. You just come up with new tangents.
I know.
Anyway, so I thought that it might be fun this week.
Okay.
To do a top 5 black Wonder Women.
Okay.
Black actresses.
Okay.
Who could be cast as Wonder Woman. The reason being because Warner Brothers has acknowledged that they are going to be recasting their lead roles in their superhero films. Why not go black?
Hey.
I mean,
there's at least one person we'll be talking about tonight that could be on that list.
Maybe more than one.
I said at least.
Okay.
I didn't know how far you wanted to go with this.
I can go as far as you want, brother.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to give you the top 5 black Wonder Women, starting with number 5.
Number 5.
All right. Number 5 would be. Oops, I got the wrong one. I'm pulling up in real time here. Number 5 is, as it comes up, Ella Balinska.
Ella Balinska.
A name that you're probably not familiar with. She was in the reboot of Charlie's Angels from just a few years ago, and also in the Resident Evil series. She's about 24 years old, 5'9".
Okay.
Definitely, if they wanted to go the route of casting a newer, unknown person as Wonder Woman,
build up.
You can build up with. This is someone that they would go for. She has the look. And she probably is in build similar to Gal Gadot.
Okay.
Currently as Wonder Woman. So not super, like cut, but not unsubstantial at all.
Right.
Either.
Okay.
Right? So that would be my choice for number 5.
Okay.
All right.
I'm not familiar with her work, but I will take your word for it.
Well, thank you. Number 4.
Number 4.
Number 4 is a bit of a reach.
Bit of a reach.
But I think she could do it.
Okay.
And this is your girl.
My girl.
From Altered Carbon, but you know her best from Hamilton.
Oh.
Renee Elise Goldsberry.
Okay.
Now, before you say anything, ladies and gentlemen, I do realize that Renee is older.
Okay, older than 24.
She's older than 24.
Right.
Yes.
Older
Not
yeah,
just,
yeah,
right.
Easy.
It's all relative.
Yes.
But she has the build.
Yeah.
She has the height.
Yeah.
She most certainly has the acting chops.
Has an acting job.
And in Altered Carbon season 2, I believe it's still available on Netflix.
Oh, that's a good question. I hope so. But Netflix is.
She proved that she has the action chops.
Yeah.
Because she is a beast in that series, alongside Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
And Simone Missick.
Yeah. And as a stage actress, she has, like, she's in shape.
Yes,
Like,
the
she can be in
physicality.
shape. Like,
yeah.
like you can imagine doing Hamilton
Mhm.
every night.
That's right, because she was in the original cast.
Right. The shape she had to be in. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a wild card choice, but that could work.
It could work. And let's keep it real. She may be like an older actress, but she could play 16.
I mean,
So, look, I'm there for Renee.
I'm for it.
I'm for it too. I'm also for number 3.
Number 3.
Who was more popularly known from Titans on HBO Max.
Yeah.
Anna Diop.
Yeah. Well, she's damn near playing Wonder Woman.
Isn't she, though?
Yeah.
As Starfire
Yeah.
on Titans.
Mhm.
Yeah. She build,
Mm-hmm.
look,
Mm-hmm.
height, shape, everything.
Good choice.
On point, fire.
Solid choice.
Solid choice.
Solid
right?
choice.
And
Seems like she should have been in The Woman King. Like, now that you said it,
you could see
it
her
was
in
like,
the Woman
wow, she should have been in The Woman King.
King. Yeah. Not knocking anybody else in the Woman King.
No. Just additionally.
Yeah.
Like, everybody in The Woman King plus Anna Diop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been fire, right?
Yeah.
I also like her because, as you'll see as I get along with my choices, now we're getting into a darker hue, you know. And look, let's face it, Wonder Woman can also be a darker skinned woman,
Of course.
you know. So Anna Diop would be my number 3 choice. Number 2 is along the same vein,
Mm-hmm.
but so she's along the same vein as Anna, but doesn't have as many credits as Anna.
Okay.
And that would be Yvonne Orji from Insecure.
Interesting.
Now, a lot of people may know her because she does comedy. So she's big time now, leaning into her comedy.
Yeah.
And actually, what I didn't know is that Insecure was her first real acting,
Yes.
and I thought she was very good.
She's fantastic.
She's fantastic in it.
Yeah.
Has the shape, the height, the build, everything. Also, I think because of the nature of being a comedian, especially a woman comedian on stage, she's got to take no prisoners attitude and ain't here for no F's,
Mm-hmm.
vibe that comes through in her comedy that I think would do her well in taking on what would be, admittedly, a huge step for her. But because she doesn't have all of those acting credits, it's akin to casting a proven unknown in this role.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of physical moments in Insecure. Like any physical comedy she did. But I'm always gonna say yes.
Hey,
Yvonne Orji. Yeah.
I'm with it.
All right. And at number 1
Number 1.
is, of course, because my girl hasn't shown up yet, so I'm assuming she's gonna be number 1.
Number 1, it's not going to happen.
Oh, okay.
I know it's not going to happen.
Okay.
Primarily because she's already been in a Marvel movie.
Yes.
But
And in a 007 movie.
and in a 007
Right.
movie.
Like I said, right. Go ahead.
But
you say her name, then we go ahead and
I don't care.
yeah.
Lashana Lynch
Would be absolutely perfect.
She is Wonder Woman.
I'm actually annoyed that they burned her as Photon's mother
I know.
in Marvel.
I know.
So there's actually space for her in the. You know who she should play?
Who?
Vixen. Like they already burned her in the Marvel universe, and apparently it's. I saw someone.
Vixen.
Someone posted that being in a superhero movie is sort of like jury duty for actors. So like when she gets called up for DC, like she should play Vixen.
See now, I hadn't even put Vixen on the board.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, they're not going to cast her as Wonder Woman.
And the shame of it is, though, is that one of the things that a lot of people don't play up in the comics about Wonder Woman, some artists do, is that Wonder Woman as an Amazon, it makes sense that she is of a thicker build.
Yes.
You know what I mean? The great Darwin Cook, fantastic comic book artist. He was famous for drawing a phenomenal Wonder Woman who was a little bit of a thicker.
I don't
cut.
think it's about the build. They're just not going to cast a black woman.
Oh, okay. I know they're not going to.
Okay.
But she would fit all of these bills,
Right.
Lashana Lynch.
Right.
You know, you're right. It's not going to happen.
Right.
But man,
She'd be a great Vixen.
I don't see. Okay, my only thing about not seeing her as Vixen is because I like Vixen, but I fell in love with Vixen on the Justice League cartoon as she was designed by Bruce Timm. So I want someone who fits that design.
Okay.
So I would cast either Anna Diop or Yvonne Orji as Vixen.
Okay.
It's still leaving room for Lashana.
I just think Lashana Lynch should work all the time.
She should.
Yeah. So
She should never.
you know
not
what?
work.
Caster's Batman. Boom. Boom. Boom goes the dynamite. Warner Brothers, give me a call. I've got lots of ideas.
You do. You sit by that phone.
I just broke YouTube.
You sure did.
Lashana Lynch is your new Batman.
There you go. There is our TikTok.
People
moment.
had their panties in a bunch over her being 007, but now she's Batman. Now what?
Now what? Talk to me. Come see me in these streets.
Sitting in the study, wearing a smoking jacket, as one does. Bat comes in. Lashana Lynch says, I shall become a bat. Now she's Batman.
Now she's Batman. Well,
now what?
Well, wait a minute. Will she be Batman?
No, she'll be Batman. I'm Batman.
But aren't you? I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
But
I'm Batman, and then she's going beat up and cripple poor people.
Wait a minute.
And
Cripple poor people.
Poor people and people who really need some type of therapy or mental help.
She's gonna cripple.
I mean, that's Batman's thing. He just goes out and beats up poor people and people who really need some kind of help.
What movie are you making?
I mean, is that not who Batman beats up? He just goes out, he's beating up poor people and people who need mental help.
Whoa.
I'm just saying.
Whoa.
Rich white guy dresses up in sex clothing, goes out, beats up poor people.
Sex clothing.
It's a sex thing. It's clearly a sex thing.
But
that's a whole different.
We have drifted
I'm just
afar.
saying, I shall become the Bat from
Lashana
Lashana Lynch, and now I'm Batman.
We drifted afar from the. What is in your chair?
Criminals are a cowardly and superstitious lot.
Okay. All right. That's the top five.
That's the top five. That's the top five. I shall become the Bat. Okay. Alfred, bring me some tea.
Arson, the voice of reason, is saying I need to rein you in. And I would try.
See? And this is why we can't do anything as a people.
Robert Monroe Jr. is saying Angela Bassett is Queen Hippolyta.
Sure.
She's just going to play another queen.
I'm just on Lashana Lynch's Batman, so now
this is
y'all can do whatever you want now.
Okay.
I'm going to sit over here and think about Lashana Lynch's Batman.
Okay. All right. Well, don't think too hard on that because it is time for 6 Degrees of D'Urville Martin. Please drink some
Have a
water.
little water.
Drink some water.
What if this wasn't one?
Oh no. Hydrate your ass.
Yes, yes.
6 Degrees of D'Urville Martin, ladies and gentlemen, where Vincent will attempt in 6 movies or less to connect an actor that I give him to that 70s Batman, D'Urville Martin.
D'Urville Martin.
All right, Vincent.
Should have played Batman. Yeah, who we got?
All right. I've chosen 2 actresses in acknowledging the movie that we are reviewing, The Woman King.
Sure, in this Women's History Month.
Exactly.
Okay.
I've chosen 2 actresses who have both played queens
Interesting.
in previous films.
Okay.
So, in 6 movies or less.
6 movies or less.
Get from D'Urville Martin.
D'Urville Martin to
Helen Bonham Carter.
Helen Bonham Carter.
Yes.
Okay. This is how we're going to get to Helena Bonham Carter, and specifically, what Tim Burton movie are we going to get to with her? So this is how we're going to get to her. Oh, we'll have a little fun. And I'm actually going to, it's not a cheat, but I went this way before and we landed somewhere else.
Okay.
But I'm going to go the same way. D'Urville Martin is in Guess Who's Coming to Dinner with Sidney Poitier.
He is.
Sidney Poitier is in Uptown Saturday Night with Rosalind Cash.
Okay. Rosalind Cash.
Rosalind Cash is in The Omega Man
With?
Charlton Heston,
Yes.
who's in Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes with Helena Bonham Carter.
Oh, wow.
Boom.
Wow.
You always forget Charlton Heston's in Planet of the Apes.
I forget Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes. As we all should.
As we all should. So there you go.
Oh, very good. Very good, Vincent.
I also could have said he's in again, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner with Sidney Poitier. Sidney Poitier is in The Defiant Ones with Tony
Curtis,
who is in Some Like It Hot with Jack Lemmon.
Oh, you finally got Jack
How
Lemmon.
you like that? Who is in Glengarry Glen Ross with Al Pacino, who is in Donnie Brasco with Johnny Depp.
Okay. You're inching close, aren't you?
I mean, how many is that? 5?
Yeah.
I should have one more.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, Johnny
and
Depp.
then Johnny Depp with any Tim Burton.
Right, one of them Tim Burton gothy movie, Hot Topic movies with Helena Bonham Carter.
Very good. All right, very good, Vincent.
There you go.
All right.
So that's Helena Bonham Carter.
Next one I think might be a little tough.
A little tough. Who we got?
In 6 movies or less.
6 movies or less.
Get from D'Urville Martin.
D'Urville Martin.
to Neve Campbell.
Right, because she's just a TV person in my head.
And yet, she played a queen.
Who'd she play a queen in?
Well, that might give it away.
All right. Because the only thing I can think of is Scream.
Well, she is an actress and was in Scream.
Right. So I'll get to her. All right. So D'Urville Martin is in. Here you go. I'll take a different route to the same person. So D'Urville Martin is in 5 on the Black Hand Side with Leonard Jackson.
Okay.
Leonard Jackson is in Boomerang with Eddie Murphy, who is in Coming to America with Samuel L. Jackson.
Okay.
Who is in Kill Bill with Lucy Liu. Who's in Charlie's Angels with Drew Barrymore.
Okay.
Who's in Scream with Neve Campbell. Is that too many? Remember, she gets killed in the beginning.
In the
of Scream.
beginning of Scream.
She gets killed in the beginning of Scream.
Okay. All right. You got there.
I did.
I did not think you were going to get there.
You know, I mean, I could have just did Samuel Jackson to Lucy Liu and Kill Bill.
Yeah, true.
And then jumped right to Nev Campbell.
But you had to flex a little bit.
Right. Well, it's a new set. It's a new set. It's all the stuff,
Very good. Just to answer your question, Nev Campbell played Princess Elizabeth in Churchill, the Hollywood Years.
You just use a lot of words in a sentence, and I didn't. Like, I know it was a sentence, and it was English. What was that? Was a movie?
Yes.
That was in the theaters?
Someplace.
I was about to say, did you see this?
No.
Okay.
I did not see it.
Right.
But she played Princess Elizabeth. I couldn't believe it either.
All right. What else has Nev Campbell been in? Has she had a lot of movie work?
She's had a fair amount of.
What else was she? You said you can tell me because I would have figured it out from that.
Well, I didn't know. I don't know. I don't know. You're watching.
I'm usually sitting around watching period pieces about Queen Elizabeth's teenage years.
I don't know your watching habits.
I just found out you were colorblind.
Nev Campbell.
Yes.
Starred in Scream.
Yes.
She starred in Scream 2.
Yes, the sequel.
She was in Scream 3.
Oh, wait, I missed my Electric Boogaloo window. Was it Scream 3D?
No, it was just Scream 3.
3D.
She was in Scream 4.
I'm seeing a pattern. Maybe she's the murderer.
She's got a new film that came out just last year.
Is it Scream?
It's called Scream.
Scream, buying my second summer home. Scream is very rewarding to me as an actress, and everything, and it's fulfilling.
She was in she was in Wild Things. You remember Wild Things from like the late 90s?
I do remember Wild Things.
It was like, that was like the hot and heavy.
Yeah.
So she was in that, and she was in, I'm trying to think of another movie maybe you saw. She was in Skyscraper. With The Rock. Remember The Rock?
How is she in that movie?
I believe she dies.
Okay. I didn't see Skyscraper. I mean, I saw the commercial for it, so I basically saw it. But I didn't see it.
I saw it.
All right. Why?
I was dating someone who loved The Rock. So I saw Skyscraper. I saw San Andreas.
Which was clearly Skyscraper. Okay.
Yes.
All right, just checking.
Yes. I tried to make that argument.
All right. Okay.
I lost.
All right.
So, yes,
You saw Skyscraper.
I saw Skyscraper. But well done, Vincent.
Well, thank you, sir.
Well done.
There you go.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the first part of our show. We're
right.
going to take a pause and
Pause for the cause.
get right into our review of The Woman King. But first, it's time for Trailer Talk.
Little trailer talk.
This is where Vincent and I talk about whatever the hell we want to, because this part is going to be edited out of the show.
But because it's a whole deal now, we're going to keep it lean and mean.
Yes, we're going to keep it very lean and mean.
All right.
I would love to take you on a tour of our new studio. Here it is. But thankful. What I will do, seriously, give people, and we'll put it out there definitely on our social medias, that even though most of our fans are not here in Philadelphia, all of you watching as we're streaming on YouTube, I invite you to please check out MNYK Studios. That's MNYK Studios, 4145 Station Road here in Manayunk. Great studio, production house. They've got this beautiful set. This is just one of about a bazillion sets. I've never gone someplace. They've got like 12 couches in here so that they can have different configurations set up. They are very dope guys. Terry and Dylan, They are producers for the Michaud Mission now. They have been very diligent and set this all up on their own. Terry is a friend of mine who I met from another podcast that I do out of these studios. And we cannot be more excited to be a part of the family here.
Very exciting.
Yeah. So
There
check
you
them
go.
out. Check them out.
All
Please do.
right. All right.
All right. You ready?
I am.
We can keep it moving.
All right.
Farrell Blackwell agrees with you, Vincent. He says, for some reason, I really think y'all need to be wearing smoking jackets and ascots.
There you go.
Have you ever worn an ascot?
You know what? I haven't actually. I know it seems like I would have, but I've never actually worn an ascot.
Honestly, I wouldn't see you in an ascot.
Well, good, because I've never worn one.
Yeah. I couldn't see how you could make it work with your T-shirts.
Yeah. Well, I'd wear another shirt.
You have other shirts?
I do.
Okay. All right.
And then I have an additional shirt. It's like shirts.
Oh, real quick, before we get into things, how do you feel about Disco? Star Trek Discovery is about to enter its last year.
I'm good.
Me too, right?
I'm good with it.
Yeah.
But I mean, look. You know, it's as soon as they introduced Pike in that episode of Discovery, I said this is the direction that this is going.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is what Star Trek people want.
And as soon as they got the ratings back for Strange New Worlds, the writing was on the wall.
Yeah, but I knew what the ratings for Strange New Worlds were going to be as soon as they announced it.
Well, you know what the ratings were going to be, but that didn't mean that the critical acclaim would match it, which it did.
I think the critical acclaim was the cherry on top.
Okay.
But the aging boomer Star Trek base, which is who was subscribing to Paramount Plus. Like, this isn't I turn and it's syndicated and I'm watching it, or even it's on Netflix. Like, I'm subscribing to Paramount Plus.
Right.
That person, this is a Star Trek they want.
Strange New World.
Right. So as soon as they say, oh yeah, I knew it. So and what did it get? 5 years?
This will be its fifth year.
I mean, it's 2 more years more than the original run. Next Gen ran 7?
Everything else except for Enterprise ran about 7 years. Now, mind you, they ran 7 years of 20 plus episodes a season.
Right.
This is will be 5 years of about 13 episodes.
Yeah, I'm good.
I am definitely good with it. And for not for nothing, this is the show that kind of reinvigorated
Absolutely
the Star Trek franchise after the stumble of the films.
Right. So
they did their work. They did yeoman work, and I'll be excited to go out with them on their 5th season.
Yeah. So there you go.
All right. So there you go.
There you go.
That is for you, Aaron Fry, who asked the question for any thoughts.
Right. All right.
You're just about ready to go. We're doing this live.
All right.
This is fantastic.
It is fantastic. Trying to find the one description I want to use.
Okay. For The Woman King, which we will be reviewing now, ladies and gentlemen.
Ready?
I am ready. Go.
The Woman King, a 2022 American historical action drama about the Agoji, the all-female warrior unit that protected the West African kingdom of Dahomey during the 17th to 19th centuries. Set in the 1820s, the film stars Viola Davis as a general who trains the next generation of warriors to fight their enemies. Directed by Gina Prince-Bythewood and written by Dana Stevens based on a story with Maria Bello. Besides Davis, the film also stars Thuso Mbidu, Lashana Lynch, and John Boyega. This was the choice of Len Webb. Len, how would you like to begin our conversation about The Woman King.
Have you ever heard of a fairly new term, I guess, for literary or for fiction, called critical fabulation?
No, please.
It is a term that ascribes to taking a historical story or a piece of history that there is little known about, just pieces, maybe here and there, right?
Okay.
But through the context clues of the pieces that you have and your own critical lens, kind of filling in the gaps of the story.
Okay.
Admittedly, it would still be fiction, but there's still a critique to trying to create that fiction as opposed to just throwing in whatever.
Sure. Kind of like Don Cheadle's Miles Davis film.
Exactly.
Sure.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right.
Excellent.
And that is a form of storytelling that was only recently introduced to me by a friend of mine, Darren Wallace, very critical thinker and writer and filmmaker. And in the world of like speculative fiction, which is where I think this movie lives a bit.
Okay.
This is like The Woman King is a perfect example of this, because this story of the Agoji, there are bits and pieces that are known about this tribe of warrior women who actually were the guardsmen for the homie back during the time of the slave trade. But outside of knowing their existence, there's only little bits of conjecture or actual knowledge about them, because unfortunately, as historically known, our history was lost to us. It was just thrown away. This film posits what their civilization, what their world looks like from a 21st century lens, point of view. And in doing so, I think it tries to take the wholly fictionalized world building of something like Black Panther and Wakanda, and tries to say, okay, what would that look like in the actual world, as much as we can, without some of the science fiction-y aspects of vibranium and all that type of stuff. So, and in doing that, I think that this movie, which is first and foremost to me an action movie, this is a solid, straightforward action movie. Some might even argue a bit of a war movie, right? But in doing that, I still think that this is a film that, and you kind of like scoffed at it when I was saying it before the cameras went on, still has a bit of a celebratory nature and vibe about it, because the beauty of it is everything that you're seeing that's happening here, all the backflips, all the hard kicking, all the hard training, all of some of the similar tropes you might see in action films, how, like the hardened sergeant brings takes in the new recruit and they become tight and everything like that. All of that is now through the lens of Black women. Black women allowed to be seen in this space and rule it hardcore from the door, and it's just beautiful. Like, the first time I watched this movie, I was watching it with almost like a big smile on my face the whole time. And the second and third time, the smile was still there, even in some of the heavier moments. The film that talks about the woman king. It talks about the Dahomey who believe in the legend of the woman king, the two kings,
right.
man and
the
woman,
twin gods.
the twin gods,
Yeah.
and them being equal,
Right.
which is why it's not a king and a queen. No, there's two kings,
Right.
a man and a woman.
Right.
And in doing so, this kingdom is set to anoint their woman king,
Mhm.
and the leading candidate for that, amongst all of the king's many wives,
Yes.
is his chief general Naniska, played by Viola Davis. As ladies and gentlemen, I promise you, you've never seen her.
No.
You only think you've seen Viola
Yeah.
Davis. You have not seen Viola Davis till you've seen her in The Woman King. It's fantastic. Just hardcore role performance by Viola Davis. Fast forward to young. I always want to call her Titsy because that's what. Because that's what Lashana Lynch called her. But Thuso Mbido, her character.
Yeah. Nawe.
Nawe. She is a young girl who is cast aside from her family because she refuses to just be married off, especially to some old goat-looking dude.
Right.
Like
right,
just
right.
not who admits to her father that he's going to beat some discipline into her.
Yeah. Look. Yeah.
And she's like, no, you ain't. So she gets basically sent to the palace. Well, then, hey, you can just go and be a warrior.
Right,
She's like,
right.
well, fine, that's where I wanted to be anyway. I wanted to be one of these great women who are kingdom honor and respect, and don't even feel, worthy enough to look at as they pass by us.
Mhm.
That's where I want to be. That's who I want to grow up to. That is my inspiration. That's how Nawi is living. And as all of the other young girls in this kingdom, they all look up to the Agoji and want to be part of that order.
Sure.
And I think it's just amazing. And in there, she is befriended by Lashana Lynch's character. You see all of the different Agoji. They each have their own personalities, each have their own look, their own vibe. Typical that you would see in almost any war movie.
Mhm.
It's the troop as they
Sure.
get together, and they battle. You've got those that you grow to love, so that it's almost as heartbreaking when they do take an L.
Mhm.
There's of course a big bad that is built up in this movie.
Yes.
This movie takes place during the time of the slave trade. I think it's interesting though that the slave trade, for the most part, becomes a MacGuffin in this movie because it really is because it becomes like this personal fight between Naniska and this general of another warring African tribe.
Yeah.
Who both kingdoms, owing their riches to the slave trade,
Right.
only the Dahomey are conflicted about it,
Right.
as shown in this movie.
As shown
in the movie.
Right.
While the other African kingdoms are like, this is how we get down.
Right.
This is how we get down. This is how we get down. I like that kind of interrogation
Sure.
of that,
Sure.
which makes sense when you're stitching together their history from the 21st century
Mhm.
with what little bits that you have of their history. Lest anyone believe, this is not a true story.
Right.
It is not a true
Right.
story. This is a fictionalized story about this real tribe.
Right.
Yet it is still every bit an amazing story. I don't even mind that, because there are some who might say like, well, maybe they should have done more with the slave trade or with the, fighting the white man in this. The white man is not built up as any type of hero in this movie at all. There actually is an opportunity. There's one Portuguese man who's kind of like meant to represent the white man, who you could maybe think that they're being a little bit ambivalent about how they're putting him up, not necessarily as an evil, kind of like walking the fence. But as far as the black people are concerned, or the Africans are concerned, once they get an opportunity to be rid of him, they are rid of him. In a quick, fast, and a hurry. With not looking back. There is another young man who we learn has come back to Dahomey because his mother
was Dahomey
was Dahomey.
So he's a biracial man
because he's biracial because his mother was raped by a white man, and that storyline I don't think really adds much to the movie. It almost feels like something that was put in there and then kind of like I could almost feel like the editing around it. You're like, all right, we're gonna keep aspects of it.
It's like the movie Ease, that gets in there a little bit.
A little bit. Yeah, but it's there, and to be fair, it's the type of thing that you would expect in this type of movie anyway. There's always this kind of like
you pay for the rest of
everything else, and for everything else that it gives you, you don't mind. Well, at least I don't mind. Let me put it that way. I didn't mind the performances. Viola Davis, I just shouted out. Vincent and Len is amazing in this movie, having to walk back and forth between her and Lashana Lynch and Viola Davis, and holding her own. And this young actress just brings it. She doesn't lose it at all. She wears her feelings in her eyes. They're so soulful. They're so emotional. They're so transparent. Yet it's a lovely performance to see. And as much as people are keeping up Viola Davis, rightfully so, the MVP of this movie is Lashana Lynch. Lashana Lynch is incredible in this, in every step of the way in this movie. She is absolutely incredible. Everything, like you said, that they wasted on her in Marvel is on the table in this movie. She when she's not saying anything, you can't take your eyes off her. It's an amazing performance. And you know who else I want to shout out, and I don't see a lot of people giving him his just due.
Who?
John Boyega.
You know I got a John Boyega rant locked and loaded.
Cause I really thought he was very, very good in this movie. Almost I had to keep reminding myself that was the same guy from Star Wars. So yes, I'm going to land on. I am all in on.
That's not where I wanted to start, but since you've already pulled it, between Attack the Block, his performance on that episode of Steve McQueen's Small Axe, and this, it is absolutely criminal how John Boyega was wasted in Star Wars. Not only is it criminal, it had to be deliberate, because John Boyega is so good that you have to stifle him for it not to come across.
Right.
He's excellent in a role that in a lot of ways is kind of thankless. Like he plays, as you say, he plays the king. And I really don't want to start with the male role in this film with
Get it out of the way.
Fantastic female performances. But, he really could have been a placeholder. Like a guy who just sort of, everyone has to revolve around as a plot device.
It doesn't have to be John Boyega.
He is intelligent. He is charming. There's a bit of wit in there. You can tell John Boyega, like I suspect a lot of black actors in this age group, went out for T'Challa. and didn't get the role, but he kept all that T'Challa in there. You almost have to talk about Black Panther with the Woman King, because I suspect just from the business side, this is a film that wouldn't have been made if Black Panther didn't exist.
This movie had been in in turnaround for years. And they could never get a reasonable budget. And it was only until Black Panther hit that they actually got a budget.
The elevator pitch is it's the Dora Milaje movie, but for real.
Exactly.
Like, that's the elevator pitch.
Exactly.
But yeah, John Boyega is fantastic. Speaking of the film itself, though, I have to say, for me, the biggest star of this film, and it's actually a masterpiece. To me, the biggest standout is Gina Prince-Bythewood.
The director.
The director. Like, I jotted down a couple of times in my shorthand, she is getting her Cecil B. DeMille on. Like, this is a big film. This is her Spartacus. This is her Malcolm X. This is her
I like that Spartacus.
This is her Titanic.
Yeah.
This is her Black Panther.
Yeah.
Like, this is a big film. And I have to say, after watching The Old Guard on Netflix, I saw a side of her directing skill that I had never seen before. But in my mind, this elevates her. Where I don't think you can speak about the great directors of the spectacle, like the spectacle, without mentioning her name. And, you know, speaking of sort of rant, it is just nothing but racism that she wasn't nominated for an Academy Award for directing this film. The battle scenes, the depictions of the Dahomey Kingdom, the depiction of the port where the enslaved Africans are taken, the depiction of the Agobe camp, the all-women camp, her sense of place. You know, like there are these wonderful scenes, you know, the flashback where they show Viola Davis's character having a baby and the way it's lit differently. The shot of the bathhouse. Like, there are so many, just from the technical part, where as a director, she masterfully puts together these images.
And you know where you are spatially every time.
The battles that she directs action so well.
You don't ever lose sight of where you are in the fight.
I said Spartacus, but you know what I really jotted down? My favorite Kurosawa film. You know, I'm like that. You know, I like Seven Samurai. I like it, but you know, I'm a Ron man.
I'm about to say Ron, right?
I was like, this is like Ron. Like, the direction of these battles is masterful.
It's great.
Everything you said about the performances, I can't add. Like Viola Davis is magnificent. Lashana Lynch is magnificent. Thuso Mbidu, as you said, acting against these folks are fantastic.
The scene where she's in the bathhouse with Viola Davis, as Viola Davis, Naniska, is revealing to her that she is her daughter, and the look on her face as she's taking that in it's amazing.
Back to the direction, the quiet moments are amazing. I mean, again, you have Viola Davis. Like, you have Viola Davis in your toolbox, and this is a wonderful partnership. Of Gina Prince-Bythewood and Viola Davis. You know, as you said, as historical fiction, people have taken issue with this film, and certainly, I think people way more qualified than us have spoken on the historical accuracy of it. And I'll leave that to the missionaries because it's been some really fascinating conversation around the historical accuracy of it.
Yeah, and I don't dig it, man.
I mean, you had to dig it
because I'm calling BS on a lot of those people, man.
Okay, easy. We talking about people who actually do this for a living. Like, we don't have to like it, but you know, we just don't know what they like. Like, these are historians.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Yes, the historians. All right.
Yeah, you know, having said that,
fair enough.
I do think you have these really fascinating conversations in this film around the context of how these kingdoms kind of got caught in this cycle of selling people, and the way they frame it is it becomes an arms race, where whether you want to or not, this is the product that these Europeans who have the guns, who have the money, want.
Right.
And you have, you know, I thought the most telling exchange, there's a moment where the big bad Oba, who is representing a kingdom, a rival kingdom, the Oya.
The Oya.
And he is telling the Portuguese, well, actually it starts with the Portuguese captain. And the Portuguese captain is talking about, we're on a deadline because, you know, the English are out in the water and we are in conflict with the English. And Oba says to him, basically, I don't really care about
your conflict.
Like, I have my own thing going on. And then he talks about what's going on with the Oya and the Daomi. And the Portuguese captain says the same thing. I don't care what's going on with your people. So what you realize is that certainly, you know, certainly in the 21st century, when we talk about selling human beings, this is abhorrent and it shouldn't have happened. And they capture this moment where again, whether it's the Dahomey who have come to this conclusion or not, once you get to the, you know, like, I know enough about history that once you get to the mid 1800s, this starts to be a conversation on the continent where they're like, this is no good. But again,
because slavery is starting to become outlawed in Europe.
It's starting to become outlawed in Europe. And again, whereas I'm saying I'm just selling my enemies, they see all of us
as there's no distinction
to feed the machine. So that this is but again, my rivals are engaged in it, and they're getting guns and all of this and these supplies. I need guns and supplies. So that I like the way within the context of the film they deal with it. They talk about it.
See, I'm actually very happy that you said that, because full disclosure, and not necessarily trying to put you on the spot, but when the film came out, you know, I went and saw it, loved the movie.
Yes.
And you were very, you know, adamant, like personally behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like, ambivalent about seeing the movie.
I was.
And I was trying to tell you, I said, there's a little bit context you might appreciate.
I think you have to, treat it, frankly, like historical fiction, which none of it is true.
Right.
Like none of the, like none of this, like the vast majority of these historical fictions take liberties. They engage in shortcuts,
exactly.
This, that, and the other, and it's a version of the Jaws rule. You know, our Jaws rule, which is probably time to. So those of you who don't know, Jaws, based on a Peter Benchley novel, about Jaws. You know, this shark in the novel, the shark, after it destroys the boat, swims away.
Right.
Steven Spielberg makes Jaws, says that he doesn't want to end the film like that. So he comes up with the conceit, spoiler for a movie that, frankly, if you haven't seen it, you should have seen it.
Yes.
The shark bites a scuba tank.
And blows up.
Well, this was in the 70s before they had technical consultants, apparently. And in between Steven Spielberg making the film and then showing the film, he realized, or he learned, scuba tanks don't blow up like that.
Right.
So he had this test showing with scuba divers, oceanographers, people who actually know about this, who apparently he didn't talk to before he made the movie.
They didn't do these things.
And he was concerned that they would say, this is ridiculous. Scuba tanks don't do this. But as everyone knows who's seen Jaws, Jaws is so good that when it got to the point where the scuba tank blew up, and everyone in this audience knows scuba tanks don't do that. They were so engrossed in the film, they were so taken in by the film that they cheered and they loved Jaws. So since then, there's the old Michelle Mission rule. It's like the Jaws rule. If a film is good enough, you grant it certain liberties.
Exactly.
And I think this film is good enough.
It is.
Now, I will say, I know people, and frankly, I know some historians, and they get really about this, and I think that's fair.
I mean, it's fair, but like I said, the movie doesn't posit itself. It doesn't come off as saying that this is a true story.
Right.
It's historical fiction, critical fantabulation, speculative fiction.
I think part of it might have been the advertising for it. I think as you said, this has been in development for years. Certainly, during the Black Panther moment.
Mm-hmm.
There were lots of people saying, well, the Dora Milaje are based on
the Agoge.
Right, the Dahomey Amazons. Like, I just remember hearing the Dahomey Amazons.
Yeah.
Like, everybody talked about the Dahomey Amazons. And then, you see those old black and white pictures of a sister holding a spear. And so, I think that was part of it.
Oh, yeah.
As well. But this is not a history podcast.
It's not a history podcast.
This is a film podcast.
This is a film podcast.
And as a film, this is a hell of a film.
Oh boy,
it's a hell of a. You know who my favorite little side character was? Like, the spinoff that I wanted. We've talked about the
Queen.
I love Shantae. I love Shantae. So John Boyega, who is the king, has many wives. Many wives. In fact, my favorite little John Boyega scene was when he walked past all his.
Yeah, all of them.
Hello, my love.
Hello, my love.
Hello, my love.
Hello.
Love, hello. I said, boy, John Boyega is in his world right now.
Y'all want me to do what?
Anyway, he has a queen who is vying for ultimate queendom, basically. Shantae. And I love the contrast.
I'm mad that's her name.
I know, right? But I love the contrast of Shantae work like this palace intrigue that is kind of this very, very side narrative that's happening. It's like Shantae and the very effeminate eunuch advisor have this thing going on right off camera.
Yeah.
Like every now and then Shantae pops in and she has on like her little stuff. And then she goes off in this woman king stuff. And I really was like, I wonder what Shantae's doing right now.
Yeah.
So
but I like that the movie doesn't really go there.
No, right? Because it's not that movie.
The average movie would have gone there for that whole intrigue. Because there's a moment where Nanisca has got like a little bit of a back and forth with probably like the closest man soldier or what have you, or on the council, the closest in stature with her,
right?
And they've got like a little back and forth between them, right? And you could almost see the setup. It's like, oh, he's going to turn on her or something like that.
Sure.
But then later, when you see that she needs everybody, who was right there,
that's right,
it's him, because at the end of the day, it's all about the respect between the two of them.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I love that little insight there.
Right.
Really dope.
And then you mentioned Malik, and you can tell Malik had, because he's sort of the love.
Malik.
He's like kind of the
that's
love.
He's
kind of the quasi love interest.
The biracial guy.
Right. And I love the fact that every now and then Malik just has to take his shirt off to remind you that he's the quasi love interest.
Yeah. Now
it's like, well, why's Malik? And then he takes off his shirt and he's like, oh, right.
He's the love interest.
Right. He's the love interest.
Yeah. He's got to do the
right.
Who's the guy that used to be on all the book covers?
Right, the
Fabio.
Right,
he's got the long hair.
He's got like this.
Long hair.
He's got this hair,
and he's got this protruding chest.
Right.
Out of his shirt.
Just periodically in the film, he just takes his shirt off.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
so
he's Fabro.
He's Fabro. Very very nice.
Mr. Set.
Yeah.
All right. So, ask your question.
I mean, would you recommend this?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's interesting you were talking about this as the Spartacus. And I was thinking about two movies. One that tries to posit itself as a true story, and it's far from it.
Mm-hmm.
And another that kind of walks in there in those lanes, but I don't think it hits it on it. It doesn't say that it's a true story. And I was thinking about Gladiator, which kind of walks in those lanes, but it doesn't say it's a true story.
I meant to mention Gladiator.
It doesn't say it's a true story at all. But then I was also thinking about Braveheart, which does present itself as a true story, and there is nothing.
Lots of inaccuracies in Braveheart.
There is no more inaccurate movie than Braveheart.
But a great movie.
Yes, I can't knock it.
Oh my goodness!
No, I did love the
movie.
I absolutely loved the movie. I did love the movie. I guess I don't like the idea of
just being a curmudgeon.
No.
Right.
I love the movie. I just don't like how much he massaged the legend in there. I mean, like he took people from different, like 20 years later, and put them in the movie.
Thomas Edison, do you have my weapons?
You know, I was like,
wait, what?
Like, why's he got a lightsaber?
Right.
But I'm with it.
Let me call Amelia Earhart for air cover.
We need air coverage.
It's like, I don't know if were there iPhones?
Were they really?
Did you just call her on an iPhone?
When I'm here,
Right.
I'm making an allowance. But no, I absolutely would recommend The Woman King. People should see The Woman King. It's must-seeing. It is a great action movie, first and foremost. So don't go into there thinking like, it's a woman movie. It's a black movie. This is a great action movie, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, check it out.
Yeah, I agree. And I'll end where I started. I think Gina Prince-Bythewood should be in any conversation about these master filmmakers at this point, because it really, again, just, I don't know if big movies are harder to make than small movies. Yeah. I mean, it seems like just technically and just the logistics of it, it would be harder to make. But as someone who just watches movies, like I'm always impressed by the big movie, and like I said, it's sort of the Cecil B. DeMille thing, like just the big, wow, you made a big movie. And this is a well done, well crafted spectacle of a film.
Yes, absolutely.
That also has these wonderful small intimate moments that are done just as well, which frankly we knew she could do that. Yeah, like you knew Gina Prince-Bythewood could do that. Like I said, I think many of us, I don't think I was alone in being impressed with her action film chops when she made The Old Guard a couple of years ago on Netflix. But this is a quantum leap.
Oh yeah.
This is a quantum leap past any of her other films as far as from that technical level. So just for that, I think it's worth seeing. And then, as you said, the performances are amazing. I don't know why Lashana Lynch isn't the biggest star in the world. I don't know why John Boyega isn't spoken of with Jonathan Majors
I was going to say.
and Michael B. Jordan and Aldous Hodges. Like, there's no reason John Boyega shouldn't be spoken of the same way.
And I'll be interested to see what next for Thiso Mbedu.
Yeah.
I'll be very interested to see what's next for her.
Yeah, and Viola Davis continues to be Viola Davis.
She does.
So.
And we will return to the world of Viola Davis later on this month, ladies and gentlemen. But before we tell you what we're going to review next week, I invite you to check out the Michaud Mission. 2 men, 1 podcast. Every black film ever made. You can go to michaudmission.com michommission.com and hit swag and check out all of the cool designs and gifts that we have available for you by way of our good friends at TeePublic. You can also email the Micheaux Mission at micheauxmission@gmail.com. You can also give us a call. We've got a voicemail.
Oh, yeah, folks. Oh, yeah. We're real multimedia over here.
215-867-9666. Tell Vincent and Len.
Call me now. Because now we're like actually on. Call me now.
No, because then they'll try calling while we're on the show. We don't want that. We don't have a phone here. So one thing, they don't have phones in Manayunk. So don't.
Just a phone.
No.
Do you remember? Because you're a little older than me. But
Thank you.
No. But how old were you when they came up with the long cords? Do you remember the where they came up with the long cords?
My girlfriend would say I was 20,
and it changed the game.
I was probably, it's probably about.
Because like then your mother had much more reach.
Oh yeah.
She had the long cord.
Oh yeah, I remember you had to change the cord.
You had to change the cord.
We changed the cord on our kitchen phone.
Yeah,
and now the phone could stretch across the entire kitchen.
I remember being a kid. It was like, oh, she got the long cord.
Mm-hmm.
So like your range of behavior wasn't what it used to be.
Yeah. But then that long cord would sometimes then get all crinkled.
Yeah, get all
and then it don't stretch anymore.
Right. So
and then to snap back.
We need one of those phones.
We don't. No.
Please continue.
Where was I? Follow the Micheaux Mission. They're going to kick us out. Follow the Micheaux Mission, ladies and gentlemen, on social media, on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter at Micheaux Mission. Find us on YouTube and subscribe. Subscribe to the Micheaux Mission on YouTube at Micheaux Mission. And don't forget that Micheaux Mission is a proud member of The Podglomerate Podcast Network. The Podglomerate, we make podcasts work. All right?
All right.
Next week, ladies and gentlemen, it's my choice again. As we return to another action movie, Vincent. It is. It's an action movie.
Sell it. Go ahead.
It's speculative fiction.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's historic speculative action fiction starring a friend of the show.
I guess he is one of the stars.
He's one of the stars. Omar Dorsey is in this film alongside the lead Cynthia Erivo.
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot of time for Cynthia Erivo. Top 5. In Harriet. Next week, here on the Micheaux Mission.
Yes.
It promises to be good as we continue a celebration of women in Women's History Month here on the Micheaux Mission. Until next week, he's Vincent, I'm Len, and in parting we say,
we'll see you when it's time to meet again.